Hey there, everybody. It's a big Thursday night recap time. We're going to talk about football, the Thursday night football game to start, and then we are going to talk about a much bigger day in hockey and some more discussions about hockey. And if it sounds like I'm in a room that's closed in, you're right. I'm in if there's a little vibration in my voice, but that's okay. We don't want to wake anybody up. All right, so first of all, football. I said take the over as the pick of the day. They hit 75 points because, you know, we're rolling. Things are going good. It was because of the diagnosis of looking at Indianapolis's defense having some injuries and the Jets' defense being the worst defense in the league. And the fact that we never, ever, ever bet on the Jets meant that we had to bet the over. That, of course, hit in the third quarter. Here's the most fascinating thing about the day. This is the magnifier. The magnifier goes up or down if you think there are going to be more scoring drives in the game or less, depending on the situation of the game. Well, if you... So there's like a difference between the team. Now, the magnifier doesn't ever have to predict the exact score because it can be wrong in its assessment of the two teams. But it just so happens, just like on Monday night, if you put a magnifier up here, if you up this magnifier a ton to 9.75, look what happens. It gets it exactly right again. Just like on Monday night, if you lowered the magnifier to 3.75, you hit that Giants-Kansas City game exactly right. You hit it exactly right, a magnifier of 9.75. Astonishing. I mean, just crazy, right? I mean, this is where we have it. We didn't think it was going to be that bad, but it was that bad and unbelievable. And so, yes, there was junk points, and it was just too easy to hit the over. I actually played an alternate over before I left Virginia. I did make a bet on my phone, and I took the alternate over of 48.5 at plus 120 or something and hit it without a problem. You could have taken even higher than that and gotten paid even more. I almost took over 51.5, I think, for plus 170. It was an interesting thought, and that, of course, would have been fine. So, awesome day for the NFL algorithm. As you can see, it hit the range of score properly, and we were able to dig into the file last night and realize that the over was the best pick, and it was. And, of course, they cover as well, which the algorithm is wrong about them covering, but not at the magnifier that the game ended up being at. So that's interesting. We won't talk about the rest of NFL yet because I haven't done all the work, but as you can see, I will because it benefits when I do, because you end up getting these situations where you can basically predict a game once you figure out how high scoring it might be. And so we'll go over to hockey, which has been, of course, hockey's tough. Hockey's tough. Calgary just lost in overtime to Dallas. One thing I did do that I want to talk about here, because it's not really a good day so far. There's a couple games still going on. But games with low margins are tough, and I was trying to think, I was like, what can we do? We've got all these games with these low margins, and I can't seem to predict them. What are we going to do? And I was like, well, what are we not incorporating in our adjusted power? And the answer is we're not incorporating the team's streak. How well they've done in the last 15 days, how well they've done in the last 30 days. Now, we're early in the season, so you know these numbers are basically all the same, less than a month. So, this will change as the season goes on, but it will show streaks, and also the most recent one that I think is the most important is how well are they playing right now. And I thought we need to incorporate that into our adjusted power to say a team is streaking well, they're playing well, they're playing well. They're not playing well, they're not playing well. Let's get that into the power. So I did do that. Instead of looking at the rest of this information, we're going to hide a lot of it. And we're going to leave in here that we're going to get rid of the goalie strength, and we're going to leave this, and I want to show you what this is doing. Okay, so I froze this formula for now, so it was before the game started, so it's not biasing at all by looking at who actually won this game, and it's not changing this number after the fact. So it's a pretty good number right here. It is the streak plus the power gets you this number, meaning 25 plus 29 gets you 54. 67 plus 20 gets you apparently 70. Oh, sorry. This number is now inflated because Boston won the game. So before it was actually 20 plus 50. This was 50. Boston had won 50% of their games before they won tonight, essentially. So this number is correct. Now, what this means is, well, look at at which number is bigger here and then which team won. Because we had a terrible day at 2-5 or 1-6 so far. But, and don't worry about these games at the bottom. Don't worry about the 9 o'clock game, the 10 o'clock games. Let's not worry about those. So we're still 2-5 or 1-6, but those games are off there. And let's see how we are actually when we look at this streak power combo number and determine which one's bigger. Basically meaning this should be determinant margin, not this. Instead of a plus 8% for Detroit, it should really be plus 16% for Boston. And they won. Okay? So that's a win that was a loss when we're looking at how we actually did. Okay? We actually lost this game, but here with these two numbers, which were numbers we had before the game that could have been part of this formula, Boston does win because they're streaking better. That's what that means. So that's a flip if we did it this way. Well, how about Tampa Bay, Toronto? Tampa Bay still should have won this game slightly. But look at the adjusted power being super even with this game and this game being having a 0.1% margin and the fact that it did tie and go to overtime. That's a good thing. It means you could have bet the tie when you see this and you would have won. So, all right, okay. How about Islanders and Montreal? Dead even. It is not a dead even game. Islanders crushed it. Why? Well, they're playing better. I'm actually surprised these numbers. This is so different in what just happened because Montreal lost and hadn't played a lot of games. It really skewed, I guess, right now because of this game. I mean, what did the percentages look like before that number was in there? It looked like this. Let's refresh. It looked like 50 and 43. See, it was a lot closer before that. But now this game drastically changed what the distribution of the last 15 days was, essentially. All right, so that game's a toss-up, even though it was a toss-up all over the place. Yeah, we didn't get it right. But you can see how much better the Islanders are playing now, right? Oh, we've now flipped over another day as well. So Vegas and Ottawa. This one would have had Vegas much more so. And Vegas did win, even though it was the opposite. So it's wrong with this margin, but right with this margin. That's good. I'm ready to start doing this tomorrow, basically what I'm seeing. Washington and Florida. Same exact thing. Basically, look at how Florida's got a really high percentage here, and so does Washington, and end up with a high-scoring game that ends up getting projected exactly with Samsonov playing, even though he got replaced with Vanacek, and Bobrovsky getting replaced with Spencer Knight in the second period. The goalies got all screwed up in this game, yet somehow the projected score is basically, it was slightly different earlier before the goalie got changed, but look at that. I mean, unbelievable, right? That's awesome. And it gets it right here, right? Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, wrong. This is the biggest and hugest miss of doing it this way. Is it has Philly for sure. They end up losing to Pittsburgh, I believe, in overtime, but I'm not sure. So this is a big miss, but that's the only one. These games are still going on. This one has Calgary. Sorry, this game's a lose. This game's a miss also. Both these games are misses. So those are two misses. St. Louis and San Jose going on right now, and it's tied. It has St. Louis slightly, like it should. We'll see what happens. In the other games, it has... I'm sorry. It doesn't. Yeah, it has St. Louis by more than that. It has Buffalo slightly, and those are the only two. Where's the Kraken game? Where's the Kraken game? Oh, it's right here, Seattle. Yeah, it has Buffalo winning this game, right? So I'm going to leave this on here. And I'm going to pull the formula back up. You'll see the numbers will slightly change because they're now including this day's game, right? See, 54 just went to 57. So this is not true as of prior to when these games started, but it will be true for tomorrow when we look at tomorrow. So that's why I just updated that formula. And it makes it even more skewed in making it look like it picked the winner, essentially, before the game. But it still can't fix this, and it can't fix this. Anyway, all right, that's a very complicated answer about how I'm going to include streak into the adjusted power. And I'm actually going to change this margin to the difference between these two numbers because I think it's a better margin. And that's what we're going to use going forward. I'll just remove margin, and we'll move a new margin over here. So anyway, that's the hockey update. It's not looking like a good day, but it looks like we may be able to progress with some new streaking and hopefully pick off better teams that are playing better and poor teams that are playing poor, and hopefully add these two together and make some more sense out of this. All right, good luck. I'll be back with some type of hockey video tomorrow, probably from the ice, actually. I think I'll be on the ice for tomorrow's video. And yeah, it's been a busy day, but you know, good times. I'm glad that the football over won without a problem. That makes me feel really good about putting forth some effort and spending some time here. For those of you who stuck around, take a look at what it looks like right now. This is the rest of the week. You can glance at it. I haven't even looked at it, so I can't vouch for anything yet. I just know that there's going to be ranges between like 3-7-5 for really, really tight games with no scoring and a lot of defense for some reason, all the way down here, and then all the way up to seriously like 10, based on what we saw yesterday with a 9.75 game. I know that the Saints aren't probably going to win 61-30, but they're going to win somewhere between 61-30 and 23-11. That we'll work on getting that right, and we'll start working on getting these defenses in here in some way to see who's injured and really kind of pick off where some teams might give up more points than they would normally because of injuries. All right, good luck, everybody. May your picks be